gonna hit transition.
Okay. All right. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the Timesplitters 2 hard story run. Are we ready to go? Ready to begin the run?
I think so.
Think so? All right. So, for those who are unfamiliar with the game, Timesplitters 2 is a first-person shooter from back in 2002, released by Free Radical Design, and it functions similarly to GoldenEye 64. And we'll go ahead and start the timer in 3, 2, 1, go. So the theme of the game, this category, is to get the entire story mode on hard difficulty, which entails just completing all 10 story missions from start to finish on the hardest difficulty. So there's a few differences between this game and other first-person shooters, like modern ones. So this game, you have a limited amount of health, so you don't have you can't regenerate health. So you have to kind of manage your health, and if you get shot too much, you have to play a little safer. There's also another thing where instead of it being like other modern shooters where the crosshair kind of locks to the middle of the screen, it kind of freely floats and it kind of like locks to the middle of the screen occasionally. So starting off on hard mode, because the enemies deal so much damage and have such high accuracy, we're making sure to take out all of them as quickly as possible, ideally without them shooting us first. And so since we know most of the enemy placements, we can take them out pretty efficiently. There's one more guard on my left here to take care of. We're shooting them just staggers them so they don't shoot us, which is very nice. And they only take 5 shots to kill, so we can just take them out like that. Setting off that alarm there was intentional to open this dam over here. We're also going to make sure we take out that guard, so we don't have to worry about taking too much damage from him. And then what we just did there at the start was some of the main objectives. One of the first ones is you have to destroy the communications disk, and another few at the beginning is you have to destroy the evidence, which involves burning the file cabinets, and you do that by just exploiting the files. So here we're going to clear the top of this dam real quick, and instead of going forward immediately, we're going to grab that armor just in case. And so killing that guard far ahead set these enemies to an alert state. And because they weren't actually set to alert all the other guards in that area, we did make it through there without alerting any extra enemies. Going down these stairs, there's not much of a threat. Just going down them without taking damage, and of course, make sure we get headshots to not spawn extra guards. We're also going to try to take care of a sniper here that can cause us issues later on. Because I missed a kill on that guard, there is a sniper at the top of the dam we're going to have to get later. And another thing you'll notice is I'm swapping weapons a lot. This is because whenever you swap to and from a weapon, you actually pull that weapon out with full ammo always. So I'll generally swap to and from a weapon to reload it instead of reloading, because it's generally faster to do it that way. This area right here, I'm going to throw a mine in the middle of that pole right there, and then shoot it to blow it up early, if it would actually hit. And that just causes me to destroy those sentry guns, and that way they don't shoot us when we're trying to turn on the power. The current objective we're taking care of is turning on the power in the base, as it's currently off. And to do that, we need to get a floppy disk in this room. But when we do that, there's a bunch of zombies, so we just gotta take them out real quick. I missed one back here. There we go. They die in one headshot, so they're pretty easy to kill. So they're not too much of a threat. getting out of here, we just have to go back to that room we were at before, where we destroyed the sentry guns. And then once the power's on, we're going to take care of the next objective, where we have to blow up the Timesplitter that's left here. So basically, the story of the game is Timesplitters have gone back in time and messed with a bunch of stuff. And so we're here to kind of stop them and undo what they did. And one of the things that happened was they got captured by the Siberian Dam, or by the Siberian base, and we need to destroy the evidence. We do that by just blowing up the container with 3 time mines, and that takes care of that objective. We also grabbed a time crystal, which is a required objective on all levels, as that's something they use to travel back in time. There's an on-fire zombie there. I got set on fire. That's okay. This is why we grab a fire extinguisher, which we can just aim at the ground to put ourselves out. And then we're going to take out these enemies, and another fire guy. So the fire extinguisher, it's kind of strange how it works. If you aim it at your feet, you can put yourself out of fire, which is very convenient. And then I actually had to go backwards there. This is because this mutant did not spawn, and he is actually required to beat the level. On normal and easy, there are some secondary objectives you don't have to do, but you can do them if you want to. On hard, you have to do every objective. So we have to take it a little slow there to make sure we got everything. There's a little fire zombie right there at the end of the stairway. We're just gonna take care of him. And now we're going to the top of the dam, where there's a quick boss fight, and then we're moving on to the next level. One more mechanic that we do use in the game is called back punching. Basically, all enemies in the game, it's kind of like knocking them out. If you hit them once in the back with a melee, it just instantly takes them out. So we're gonna make sure we use that. Here's that sniper I was talking about earlier that we had to miss. Take care of him. We appear to have run out of Soviet ammo, which is fine. We'll drop some more like that. We're also going to shoot this chopper a little bit early, just to get some quick damage on it. We're going to get in the turret. And by alternating shooting the primary fire and the missiles, we can take down the chopper a little bit faster. And by also aiming up a little bit with the missiles, they can hit the tail rotor of the chopper, which will cause it to take the equivalent of headshot damage. It'll kill it a bit faster. With the helicopter destroyed and the first level complete, we are moving on to Chicago. The main objectives of this level are to take out Big Tony and to drain the whiskey barrels. Only a couple of main objectives.
I just want to point out that 11-year-old me thought that first level was way harder than we just made it look. That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Chicago. There's only a couple enemies that are really a threat, and we will see a couple of them later on, but we're going to do our best to take them out. At the beginning there, you saw me shoot a crate there. That was to cause a guard that was patrolling that area to look left and right. By doing that, he stops moving, and we can back punch the other guard to get by him without setting off the alerts. Setting off the alert in the first area is very bad because it spawns 2 enemies that will hurt you. Taking out that car, it just needs 7 bullets. You think it needs more by the amount of steam, but once it has 7, you can just stop shooting it and run away. This is a little bar fight you just have to take care of. It's a little optional. We have accidentally taken out a civilian, but that's okay. We can kill 5 civilians before we fail that objective. This device I have out right now is called a temporal uplink. It basically shows you a map of the area and where some enemies are, some friendlies are, and you know where they're going, because it only shows them when they're moving. This next objective now, we are escorting the snitch who has told us where Big Tony is, and you know he's got a lot of people after him right now. So he's got 3 people behind him that are actually targeting him. But they only spawn 1 at a time. So you see I kind of look to the right there to make sure a discard spawns. And so that's the 2 of them that are dead. There's 1 more from this side. There he is. And there's the last one. So now the person we were escorting is actually free to do his own thing. We're just going to play a little billiards there. Got it, 1. And we're going to continue on to this next building. We're just going to clear the bottom floor real quick with some explosives. Set off the alert there. That's okay. It's a very simple fix. That guard should not be an issue. But we need to get over here quickly. We only need to kill that guard because he's the only one aggroed onto Marco. And then we actually shoot him to sneak by him just a little bit faster. And then that's all the guards dead for this section. Going up this hotel right now, there's a few guards we can try to stealth kill. We missed the stealth kill because we got one body shot. So it spawns some extra guards. And that's the lethal enemy right there. He has very high reaction. And so he will basically turn instantly and shoot you. And he also shoots very fast. We're just going to let that play out as normal. We just threw the TNT on the floor there. And we just shot it to explode a little bit faster. And also open the safe, which we needed to get the nightclub pass. There's like a backup one stored in there for the big boss who runs this hotel. So that's the one we take to get into the nightclub. Of course, making sure we have the whiskey barrels drained. We do. There's another one right there that tries to jump scare you. We're just going to take him down. As you can see, the swap reloading is actually quite useful because it's just a little bit of extra or less time you have to spend doing nothing. You know, move a little bit faster. Usually when it says time crystal located, it means we are pretty close to the end of the level, and that we are right now. We are in the nightclub, and we're going to go pretty faster. We just picked up a dual Tommy, and this actually functions differently from how it would function in other games. Instead of firing the guns independently, you actually fire them with the same trigger, and you're able to aim manually, which is very nice. I kind of hung back there before that room, so that way the boss would have to run to me, and I would be able to play it safe, because I got headshot so much. Something you'll notice is getting headshot does take out a big chunk of your health, and so you have to play it safe if you get headshot a lot. And I saw on the last level we did get headshot a little bit, so we try to play it a little safer. The third level, Notre Dame, the main objectives here are to kill two bosses. One of them is a giant portal demon, and one of them is just a regular boss of the level. And then we also have to free the maidens who are trapped in the Notre Dame. The start of the level has just a bunch of zombies, and you get just a shotgun to defend them off. And there's some of them that actually spit at you. Luckily, we can avoid that by just moving left and right because the projectile is so slow. We also just duck under that gate just to get by a wee bit faster. It doesn't save too much time, but every frame counts. We're also leaving as many enemies alive as possible, and that is to overload the game and put so many enemies on screen that later on, past the checkpoint, some enemies will stop spawning. So we got set on fire. We got backup strats for this. Being set on fire has been unfortunate. It means I have to die at the checkpoint in order to restart. But fortunately, we don't have to put the maidens at risk. We can kill that. We can free them from far away by just shooting the shackles they're in. And we're just going to back punch these zombies as well. We're going to make sure to shoot this one. There we go. Everything's dying right now, as you can see. We're going to free this maiden right there. And then checkpoint. So now we have to wait to die. Because if we pause and restart, we don't save the time we played before the checkpoint. And so we have to die before we restart. Alright, so now that that's done, level's back to a playable state. And we do have a bit more health than we hit the checkpoint with. This is because they'll always start you with the minimum amount of health. That way you can at least always beat the level. There's a couple of threatening enemies here. They have the only other gun in the level, the dual-wield Luger and the single-wield Luger. These are crucial for killing the bosses very fast, so we need to make sure to pick those up. We also need to make sure to watch out. There's a few of these guys after us. Yeah. So they can do a lot of damage. So we're going to grab an armor pack just for safety. As as you can see, they hit you pretty hard. These are the only enemies that actually shoot in the level, besides bosses and pseudo bosses. So we're gonna grab this armor here because there's a few more later on we can use. Fortunately, it's not too much time lost. It's only a few seconds. Take him out right there, and get the headshot there. You're probably wondering why we can't run past that fire zombie while he's technically dead. While he is technically dead and currently dying, wow, I just got deleted again. While they are technically dying and in a death state, I'm going to grab this armor. I'm going to take care of this in a different order. The game has to despawn them first. And so while they're in that despawning state, they can still set you on fire. All right. It's this guy right here. Grab this. Okay. So had to do a little bit slower there. We are quite behind, but we have an armor pack up here. And since they're all dead, there's nothing that can be on the staircase to hurt us. There we go. So now we can traverse the staircase in peace. Just that fire zombie left. And once it despawns, you can run by. There it is. You can tell when it's despawning because the fire will start to fade away. We also kind of spin down those stairs in a corkscrew pattern because it's just a little bit faster than just walking straight down. We have to, this little section here, we just have to defend this maiden. Fortunately, we get some support because there are quite a few enemies here. So we're just going to take some of these out right now to help him. In the world record speedrun, we generally leave him to do most of the fighting himself. But he can be very unreliable. So we are going to help him out a little bit. And we're going to start leaving right now, actually. Fortunately, he is very bulky and can take a hit. So now we're going to leave him, and hopefully we'll be able to kill those. So there's one. There we go. Wait for that zombie to die. Don't hear him killing this one yet, so I'm going to go back. And there we go. So by going back, it kind of made the AI like more of a hitbox again. For some reason, a lot of AI in this game like despawns and pretends like you're not able to see it, and everything becomes basically hit scan, and some hitboxes just go away entirely. This is the first boss of the level. It's pretty easy. You can just melt it down with the dual wheel Luger, and by moving back and forth in the way we did, where we did, it made it so the boss basically couldn't shoot us. He spent all his time moving back and forth. And then up here we have the roof section. This part is definitely a threat. Luckily we have an extra armor in case we need it. So you see there's a couple enemies with the purple wreaths around them. They are a threat because they have basically the max accuracy they can have, max health, and max reaction time. So they are quite a threat. And they do take a beating. And so now that we have killed all the other enemies, we can just focus on the boss with a few good headshots. And now we are out of Notre Dame. A little bit of struggling, but we made it through. And levels only get harder from here on out. The next level, Return to Planet X. It's quite straightforward. There's only a few main objectives. Two of them are to defend some beaches, and the last one is to destroy some escaping UFOs. The first beach attack, when getting to it, you generally have full health, but getting out, we're going to have very little. This is because we basically, there's some turrets you're supposed to use that are pretty far away that make it a little bit safer. But we're gonna go right to the front lines and take them out right there. So there's a few different enemies in this level. The guns take a drastic step into the future as we jump through time. So this gun, it shoots 3 rounds in a 3-round burst. You can either shoot it a little slower with the alternate fire or faster with the primary. And then here's where the first beach attack is. Lots of enemies. So we're going to grab this plasma auto rifle here. This is another unique gun. And so this gun, how it works, it's got 2 different types of ammo. It's got grenades and it's got bullets. The bullets have an overheat timer on them. So if you shoot too many bullets in a row, the gun will overheat and stop working. But as you overheat it, the gun will start to shoot faster. And so we can use that sometimes to just get some more damage out faster. So there's one more enemy on the side here, and then we're gonna leave. All right, and we're also gonna grab some ammo as well. And once this UFO starts to leave, we can start leaving as well. Should be just a couple more enemies. So you can kind of see the elastic aiming here, where I'm kind of like aiming to the top right, but my camera isn't really changing where it's looking. It kind of snaps back to the center. There's a lot of enemies in this one that just kind of spawn randomly. But we know where they all are. You can't blow up any of the previous UFOs, unfortunately, to count towards the destroying UFOs objective, because they not only do they take a lot of damage, the objective also isn't ready yet, and so it won't actually count. So this is the second beach attack. These ones spawn much faster than in the first one, so we basically only have time to turn right and left and take out the enemies. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And we just keep rotating back and forth. They only spawn 4 of them, and so we can leave now. And so now we've done that second beach, the teleporter will start to come down. We gotta wait a few moments before it actually is ready to put us in the UFO. Part of the story of this level is that this UFO crashed, and you want to infiltrate it to figure out what this planet is hiding. And so now that we're in the UFO, we're infiltrating more into the alien base, and seeing more of the war between the Mizor and the Ozor is the 2 names of the aliens here. As you can see, the green ones and red ones do not like each other very much. Normally that little alcove we just went in is actually very well hidden and takes a while to find it. But once you know where it is, you can just run past all those enemies. There's an armor pack up there. Because of our current health count, we don't need to grab it. Up here, you'll see a familiar setting. That's actually the beginning of the level. So if you do fall there, you have to walk all the way back. So it's very worth it to make sure you don't fall. So you saw me open a door there to the right. That's actually the first turret we can use to take out the UFOs. We would normally use that if it wasn't slower to take out the UFOs. Here's the objectives for this level. So you're supposed to take out 15 UFOs. And if you get in the first turret, you can get that first wave that spawns that you see in the camera. However, you miss 2 later waves, which actually causes you to lose about 15 seconds. And so we opt to go for the second one and miss the first wave to get all 5 of these in a row. And I'm using precise areas in the backdrop of the map to know where to aim. And if I miss a UFO, I can go to a backup shot to aim for it. This last set, I'm actually going to wait to shoot the first one, because if I shoot it immediately, the third one will not spawn, and that will lose us 15 seconds, because we have to wait for the next set. Now that we've blown up the UFOs, they have, for some reason, granted us access to their base, so now we're going to go in and get the time crystal back. There's a couple enemies guarding it, but once we actually get in here, the door behind us closes, and we're kind of trapped in here. This basically makes it very safe, as there's only 2 more enemies left in the level. And now we can just continue on. The rest of the level is pretty lax. Just get the time crystal and leave. There's a couple of Timesplitters that spawn. They try to take us out. That's what they look like. They go invisible and shoot exploding lightning at you. And it travels pretty slow, so you can generally dodge it, which is nice. And that is Return to Planet X, the 4th level. So moving on to Neo Tokyo. This level is kind of infamous for being sort of an auto-scroller, because the first half of it, you're waiting for the hacker, someone you're following, to grant you access to their base. And to do that, you need to follow them with the temporal uplink. Because we already know where she's going, we're going to use this time more optimally and check for a couple of bugs that can happen in the level. There is a bug that if you don't check for it at the start of the level, it actually makes the level impossible to complete for that attempt, and you have to fail the objectives and restart.
I just realized the Neo Tokyo level is 2019. We're past Neo Tokyo now.
Yeah, it's set in 2019, just last year, and it just ended. The level is very heavily based off Blade Runner, for those who don't know. But they got a lot of inspiration from that. And here we're going to check for the bug. And it did not happen, fortunately enough. Basically what happens is that little guard right there will see us through the wall. And we have to stop her from coming through there. Because if she does, and she sees us and sets off the alert, the one who's walking all the way here, for some reason, is set off and will fail the mission. And we have to reset. There are many cameras here that can catch you. And you'll notice they make a little alert sound when they see you. If you just get out of their camera very quickly, you don't have to worry about it. They'll, for the most part, just ignore you. Because you have to be in there for about a second for it to actually set off the alarms. But there is one thing we have to watch out for. There's a police car that roams this area. And if it sees you, it'll set off the alarm instantly. No delay. And so you have to watch for that. It should be spawning pretty soon here, actually. The red blip there is the person we're supposed to be following. And so we're going to sneak around them so they don't know we were at the end of the level yet. And there's that police car that's following you around. Going back to the beginning here, we are doing this to get a couple of guns. That way we can take out some enemies later on. We're breaking some glass just for the fun of it. Kind of just a thing we do. Going back to the base, we can take the same path. And because the cameras start on the same rotation every time you play the level, you can actually just run here without the uplink, but we pull it out just to be safe. Another fun fact about this level is on hard mode, the person you're following is actually cloaked. As you can see, like, she's right in front of us right now. She's very hard to see. On easy and normal, she's fully visible. And so, on hard, you do need the uplink to see where she's going if you can't see the cloaking very well. As you can see, the red wall on the uplink disappeared, which means we can walk through here now freely. We've gained access to the base. And now the wall has spawned back. So now, we're going to watch her enter her password for the base. And then we're going to break in. And we're going to upload the evidence that was being used to incriminate us. And we're going to upload it to the police server and then take out the hacker head. See, there's the invisible person. Take him out. And we made sure to set off the alert there on those first two enemies because it caused the door we just went through to stay open. We're going to grab a couple of guns in here because this gun is frankly overpowered. It shoots very fast and has a high clip capacity, which is very nice. So we just got the pictures of the evidence for the for incriminating the people who were holding this Timesplitter hostage and harvesting it for something. And now we gotta escape because of what we did. Now that we've freed the Timesplitter and shut off the machine, we need to get out. Getting out is pretty simple. There's a lot of enemies that can spawn one by one. There's one more guy around the corner here. We can just walk by him, honestly. Getting out, there's quite a few enemies to try to ambush you. If you know where they are, they're not too much of a threat. And there's also a grenade that's going to spawn right behind us. We can just run right by it, and we don't have to worry about taking damage. Because we have a lot of ammo, too, we can kind of be a little free with how much we are shooting. And now we're going to take out the real boss head. She has spawned over here for some reason, so you got to walk all the way back here. And then we're just going to melt her with some headshots. Done. And we're going to leave. Where's Crystal? A lot of the bosses in this level hold a time crystal. And so when you kill the boss, you generally have to find the time crystal. That boss in particular just tends to put it somewhere in that room. And so we kind of position her so that she throws it usually towards us. But sometimes it does not work out. Like right there. And there's a couple of guards just guarding the time portal at the end of the level. But we just take them out quickly. And we're done. To the next level. The next level, Wild West, is it is actually quite difficult. All the enemies have very high reaction and damage. Some of them don't have the most health, but they do have quite a bit of reaction, and because of that, they can hit the head very easily. We are halfway done through the story as of right now. 5 more levels to go, but the game gets exponentially harder in the second half. You'll notice at the beginning here, I could either get headshot or not. Or just not get shot at all. That's also an option. As you can see, we start off the level and the enemies are already on full alert and ready to take us out. We are taking a very specific line here, because the main objectives of this level are to free someone who was wrongfully imprisoned and take down the wanted posters to make people forget that she was wanted, free someone from the barn, and take out the colonel, who is harvesting the time crystal right now. There's a couple of snipers to take care of. They don't move, and they also don't stagger, so the auto aim pretty much takes care of it. I should have touched on that a little bit earlier. There's a very strong auto aim in the game, which basically soft locks on to most enemies, and it'll kind of hover around their body, which is very convenient. I'm looking down there to make sure the sniper spawns. We can take him out. Because if he doesn't spawn, he can cause issues where he just shoots us in the head. A lot of the snipers do have very high accuracy and high headshot damage, but they don't move, which is a downside for them. Here you can see that auto aim in action, just sniping someone from very far away. And you see we just got double headshot right there. It's a bit unfortunate. Luckily we have an armor we can grab. I didn't grab it. Okay. There we go. All the enemies here are dead, which is nice. There's one behind us, which did not shoot us. Very nice. We're also going to shoot the person we're freeing in the foot, just to move them a little bit so we can sneak by and get these very difficult position posters. They are quite out of the way. So here there's a dual wield weapon we want to grab. And we might be taking a lot of damage, but there is fortunately an armor right up ahead. One more right there. And so since now we've got all the posters down and all the enemies are cleared out, we're going to do the boss. With the amount of health we have, I'm going to play it a little bit safer, and I'm going to delay the boss spawning the enemies here that basically assault us. I don't know what he's doing. We're basically going to run facing a very specific direction, so the boss doesn't move. What generally happens here is... Oh, never mind. I guess the boss fight started. Time to improvise. So what's supposed to happen is since you don't look at the boss, he doesn't move, and he doesn't spawn all the enemies that spawn here. Fortunately, we have a couple backup strategies and backup armor to grab in case things go wrong. And these guys can only really take one way up. Luckily, there's a couple ways up, but they only take one. As you can see, there's a lot of enemies spawning, and so a lot of them are like running back and forth because they don't know there's too many things on screen right now. I see one right there. I think all the ones at the start are taken care of now. One more. There we go. So that should be all of those. Oh, there's one more. There we go. It's kind of weird. They kind of have a random count. It's like 6 to 8 of them spawn, and that's all of them for sure. And there's a couple more left, but we can generally ignore them because they won't get to us in time. We're going to take care of him because we now need to walk across what is effectively a tightrope. And there's no walls here, so you could just get pushed off by getting shot. This is the time crystal, very well hidden. And then finishing the level, we're going to finish a little bit faster by walking off these rails and falling to the canyon because the portal is so large that you can just kind of go anywhere in the canyon to finish the level. And that's the end of Wild West. The next level, Atom Smasher. This one is can be a wall for a lot of people. This level has 2 mechanics at play. It has a timer that starts when you start the level, and you get more time as you progress. And there's also lots of enemies with dual wield pistols. They have very high accuracy, lots of health, and so you need to be ready for anything to happen. Getting double headshot, anything. Beginning of the level, we're just going to turn off some cameras, and we're going to get some back punctures on some guards to get a pistol, as we start off with no gun. We're also going to open this... What was that?
Oh, I was just going to say that we also have a $10 donation from Ralph in the comment. Shout out to Midwest Speed Test for accepting the best speed game.
Yeah. Yo, major shout outs right there. Appreciate those that dono. Yeah. So yeah, the theme of this level, the main objectives are to, as I clear this hallway real quick, that can be a problem. There we go. There we go. Get the headshots. So the main objectives of this level are to defuse the bombs and take out Kalos, the factory boss. There's a turret at the end of this hallway here. You can actually shoot the camera on them to deactivate it. So we're just going to do that. Perfect. We're going to wait here. We're going to peek this sniper and have it shoot the wall. And then we don't have to worry about getting headshot by it. We also grabbed some remote mines there. Those will be very useful later on. We're going to put out the on-fire scientists. Very unfortunate for them. And we're going to put out the fire here to open the fire door in front of us. This level is quite long, too. We actually just hit the checkpoint. And we are probably not even a quarter of the way done. To show you how long this level is. And so we're going to kind of throw these mines, take care of these enemies. There we go. Perfect. Just kind of taking them out one by one. There's a grenade right there. I saw that. There we go. You guys stuck that one on him, which is very nice. Enemies who have mines stuck on them just run away. So you use that to just make him stop shooting us. Where did that mine go? There we go. Sometimes the mines just go through walls, which is exactly what you want to have happen. This is probably one of the longest levels in the game. Seconded pretty much only by Robot Factory. Robot Factory is a very long level, and it is in 2 levels in about 10 minutes, and we get to play through all of it on hard. This third bomb here, it's kind of different than the others. You have to pick it up and drop it in a disposal chute. So we're gonna pick it up, and you can't just pick it up by activating the magnet and holding right. You kind of have to tap right, because if you just hold it, the bomb will not get picked up all the way. We're also gonna grab a fire extinguisher here for more ammo. There's another sniper very far away there, and a small explosion there is kind of a threat because you can't really see because of all the shaking. Blow up those two, and then these mine explosions actually go through the crates, so we can just boom, take them out like that. We're gonna put out this fire here as well. This is the last fire, fortunately enough. We can ignore the rest. And it opens this last door. There's one sniper up here that could be an issue. And he is not. We staggered him enough so that he wouldn't shoot us. And then we're going to snipe this one guard up there. And one far away. And we did it fast enough to cause that door to be opened earlier. We're also going to throw some mines down to take out some enemies that were hiding in the crates. And this makes it level pretty much very easy from here on out. There's only a few more enemies left and a boss fight. You could just go right, but you'd probably get killed by that laser grid. It deals very high damage, basically one-shots you. So we have to go right and deactivate that grid. Shot a grenade, I saw that. Take him out. Just one more little tap on him. There we go. And that's the last major enemy of the game. And is when the bomb timer finally goes away, which makes kind of take the breath off your shoulders. Here we're going to zoom in with the sniper and swap to the pistols to eliminate the sway on the sniper. Unfortunately, we did miss the shot on him. Definitely want to take him out because if he shoots you off the pipe, there's a chance you fall just straight down to the pit and die. And we're just going to run right through the steam because it actually doesn't deal that much damage to you. And because of the full armor you get before the steam and the full armor you get after the steam, you can just take the steam damage and get your armor back very easily. And now that we've taken care of that laser grid, we can go to the end of the level and activate the reactor. There's a few enemies here that are going to try to surprise you, but they're pretty easy to take care of. There's a Timesplitter that just spawned. We're just going to take them out like that. And we're going to grab some grenades here as well for the boss. So we just do some grenades there to kind of stagger him. And we're going to keep staggering him with body shots as well. So he's very weak right now. And we're just going to hit him with the headshot. Grab the crystal, and we are out. Normally that part can actually be quite troublesome because the boss has a dual wield Soviet, which is the gun I had on my right hand for the most of the level, and so having dual wield automatic weapon is definitely very threatening. And then if you kill him, two of the enemies with the purple wreaths on them, they're called Timesplitters. They spawn with the high accuracy, damage, and health that they normally have. And so you have to choose between one dude with 2 guns or 2 dudes with 1 gun each. The next level, Wild West, or not Wild West, Aztec Ruins. It's definitely not Wild West again. Aztec Ruins takes place in the jungles, and your main objective here is to find the temple and the crystals and take out the golems. Part of the cutscene that was there at the start was the golems took the crystal, and we need to get it back from them. You saw me shoot a wood golem there. Those are not the main ones we need to kill, but they can be a threat. We're going to go forward here, and we're going to put our crossbow bolt on fire real quick. We're going to grab that and set that guy on fire. Now he's going to run backwards, and he should set some of the previous guards on fire as well, tanking them out for us. And this little portion right here is a little puzzle. There's no way to know how to solve it unless you know how to solve. Okay, well, we just got deleted by exploding monkeys or exploding watermelons. Another mechanic of this level is a lot of these monkeys have exploding watermelons they can just throw at you because reasons. On top of that, the crossbow you get, it is a very high damage weapon when it hits to the head, and these guys have a high accuracy, so you have to worry about that quite a bit. We shoot that wood golem in the chest so he doesn't punch us. As anything without a weapon in story mode, when they punch you, it deals quite a bit of damage because they do basically 1 hit per frame. As you can hear in the background, everything is on fire, which is what we like to hear. So let's try this puzzle again. It is randomized every time, so there's not a guaranteed solution. So we're just gonna there's another exploding melon. We're going to hopefully not die to another one. There's not much you can do, though, if it does happen. There we go. Dodge it. Okay, there's a couple of these pillars left. So this little puzzle here, you need to solve it to get to open the next door. There's exploding melon right there. Took some damage. It's okay. So now we open that door. We're going to grab an armor pack right below. And these guys all take 3 shots to kill. So we usually have to have a full clip ready. Solving that puzzle, to solve the puzzle, you have to match up the faces on adjacent pillars so that they all match. That's a random pack of bees. I can confidently say I've never seen a pack of bees there before. And now that we've opened that big door at the start, we're going to run all the way back there. And I'm pretty sure there's actually a wood golem left. So I'm actually going to go a little slower here. Just to make sure he was got. And if he hi, there he is. So now he's here. We're just gonna set him on fire. There's one dude left as well. There we go. Take care of him. And now we can run through. All right. So now that we're at the checkpoint, there's a possibility we're gonna die here due to bee damage. There's a lot of bees that spawn in hives, and they'll just come after you and try to take you down. For the most part, you can just run by them, and they won't deal much damage. You need to push that lever to open this gate here. We're also going to grab the armor for survivability. And then we're going to touch that left wall and hide behind cover and then go back out again. That causes the first guard that popped out there to always miss, which you want. That way he doesn't deal any damage. As right now, health is usually pretty scarce with all the explosions and, threatening crossbows. To take out these golems, you have to use explosives or they have to kill themselves. Since there's no explosives yet, and we don't have access to them, we have to drop them to these pits, which are activated by little switches right next to them. As you can see, we had a very close interaction there with the watermelon. Basically touched us. And now we have to navigate through some spears. And you see, we just took a bunch of damage there. I'm actually going to plot this differently. No, we don't take that much damage there. You can walk by that last set of spears on the far right, but if you're not far enough to the right, you actually do take quite a bit of damage. So I'm gonna take care of this next part a little bit differently, a little safer. This part right here, there's basically a bunch of faces that are gonna turn and try to attack you. And you take them out by looking at them when they're vulnerable, when they're like red like this, and that'll cause them to be destroyed. There's only 7, so it's not too long of an objective. And unfortunately, these ropes actually do have a solid hitbox, so you do kind of have to watch out for that. And there's one last face right here. And it wasn't clear, how little health you have on hard. That spear does about half your armor on normal, and you don't even see him on easy, because this part of the level is actually cut off. On easy mode, they actually cut off quite a significant portion of the levels. So now I'm going to use some strategies that I would use in my no damage taken run, where I practice in case we have low health. Oh, we just got killed there. That's fine. The checkpoint is only about a minute or so back. Just in a checkpoint right now, and just run back. So what happened there? We kind of get cornered there by an Indiana Jones boulder and a bunch of guards that are after us. So now we're gonna try to make up the pace here. Okay, this is fine. You usually don't get blocked there. You can usually just walk over the stairs. It's a bit unfortunate. We're just gonna run it back again. Take the guards on the right. Might die here again. Kind of choking right now. So as you can see, like getting to the checkpoint with low health can be a problem because the enemies, they deal so much damage that that little chunk of health you get is almost nothing. So we're gonna try to hopefully okay. So they went to the right side this time. Generally, they follow you to the right side, and then stay on that side. I don't know what that damage was from. There we go. 3 shots in him. Take out the monkey up there. Try to take out as many exploding monkey melons as possible, because they just kind of throw them whenever they feel like it. Gonna drop this golem to the pits. They can slow down like that and just hit the floor for some reason, which kind of slows you down a bit. It only loses a couple of seconds, but it can get quite annoying when all of them do it like that, because you have to wait. You also like tap them on top of the plate where they fall down. That way they stand still. You have time to get to the plate that would normally push them down. Here, ideally, we won't take a bunch of damage from the spear. Far right. There we go. See, that time we didn't take full damage, which is nice, because now we have a half armor to take out for the last bit of the level. And now we're just going to do these faces again. They do spawn in a random order, so you can't just, like, look at where they're going to spawn and take them out predictably. As you see, they do shoot you if you take too long to find them, to kind of show you where they are. This next one's up here. While I'm waiting here, the next level robot factory, the level is quite different from a lot of the others in that it gives you actually twice the amount of health for hard mode than you normally would have. Because the level has a lot of automatic weapons, and they just have the enemies themselves have very high accuracy, and so you have to watch out for them quite a bit. Someone was asking if they have the faces have set patterns. They don't have any set patterns. We've spectated the faces over many attempts, and it's all completely random. It's same with the pillars at the start of the level. There's no patterns. They're all just completely random. So here, we're going to take out this guy up here. We're going to start the boulder. And we're just going to run back. Run forward. There we go. Little Indiana Jones boulder's me following us. But we're just going to outrun it, and then it'll take out the guards that were following us. The last room here, they give you an explosive to take out these golems. So we're just going to use that to kill them. We bounce the grenade launcher on the floor to cause the grenades to split into 3, and that causes them to kill the golems faster, because they take 2 explosions to kill, and the grenade launcher only shoots 1 at a time. So when they split into 3, you can just hit them with 3 at the same time. Now we're on to Robot Factory. Very notably difficult level. because there's not only the, as I said, the high damage guns and fast shooting enemies, they take a lot of damage. The very bulky ones actually take a couple of grenades to kill. So entering it on hard. The main objectives here, there's only two. To overload the energy nodes with the electro tool by shooting it until they blow up, and taking out the boss, which is what's on screen right now. Starting off with the level, like in Wild West, immediately the alarms are blaring, and they're going to be attempting to take us out. And we're just going to run right through to the next area, ignoring all the enemies except for two. We're also going to blow up that side panel there. That just takes out a couple of those 6 enemies, so we don't have to worry about them later. And then we push that camera just a little bit, up to, it said, about 25 speed, which was in the bottom right of the UI there. And that caused it to run into a wall. And a lot of the electricity walls in this game can be walked through when they explode. And because of that, we just drive it right into it and expose the wall without us having to take it out manually. That also gives us time to grab the armor, which we desperately need because you take a lot of damage. As you see, my armor is already gone. We basically just started. There's a couple of those beefy enemies there. You see, we just throw 2 grenades down and that takes them out. We're going to take a very specific line here that curls around one of those beefy enemies, and it makes it so they're less likely to shoot us. Because this gun's a projectile, if we go in that specific line, we don't have to worry about them as often. We got good RNG here. If you get bad RNG here, these enemies are already aggroed on you, and so you have to take a different line to take care of them. We're going to wait here. Go. Because there's a little health pack right there, which you can grab, and we do definitely need that. We're also going to stun these 4 right here, 4 little enemies. And this laser gun right here is the main level. Main reason this level is actually quite easy on the speedrun, because it deals a lot of damage very quickly in a high burst. Let's see, we're taking a lot of damage right now. Grab an armor pack, and now we just do a quick little assault because we destroyed that first node. So we're charging this laser gun up just enough to shoot a bolt instead of a beam. As you can see, the floating trash cans are after us right now. We're just going to take them out really quickly, and then they will stop coming after us. There are a couple of rail bots. Those are the things on the rails that can shoot you. So you just take them out really quickly like that. We get this second, though. We're actually going to move back a little bit, and because there's one of these guys right here. And we're going to take out those 4 like that, and grab another electro tool. I throw a grenade down there to try to kill the enemies who are after me right there. And then I'm going to throw one more down and blow it up. And now at this node, so we basically just pushed this forward quick enough so that we didn't have to wait for it to walk forward. And then once it was over there, it was perfectly stopped, so that way we can just look right and take out the shield blocking one of the nodes. And then it auto self-destructed because there was already electricity being pumped into it. 1, 2. Alright, this is the last difficult room. As you can see, we just ran out of laser gun ammo. But fortunately, we were ready for that. The game just crashed. Well, fortunately, we're ready for that. Just gonna quickly reset. That is gonna put us a little bit behind. Just take a couple minutes to boot up real quick. It's very rare. I've never really had issues crashing there. So we're just gonna have to blitz through that level and get back to that point. Just want to make sure. Polo King, are we? Are things gonna be good? Because we were gonna be like 5 more minutes behind. He's there. We're gonna grab our profile that we have. We're gonna go to. There we go. That was Speedfest. Perfect. All right, so we're just gonna jump right back into it. We're just gonna jump right back in on hard mode. Just put us a little bit behind, but that's okay. Hopefully it won't crash again. If it does crash again, I'll skip to the last level. it's quite rare. This game very rarely crashes. Usually it only crashes when you exploit something. So now we get another attempt at it. Get some more health. So as we were continuing there at the end, there's a lot of optional armor in the level that you can grab. If you grabbing it does make it safer, but a lot of it is really, really far out of the way, and so it's generally not worth it to grab. So now we're gonna do the same thing. Push that camera to 20 speed, and you just kind of curl this corner. Grab some explosives, and gain access to the base. A few enemies that are gonna be chasing us, but that's okay. Definitely some marathon unluck. It's okay though. Shoot some 2 grenades all the way across, landing him on the big boy. Just like that. This time we have a little bit more armor, which is good. We have to worry less about dying here. See, they did see us, but since we shot the grenades pretty early, them seeing us was not that big of an issue. We'll take out the enemies very quickly. We're going to take out some stragglers as well, just in case. I think, see, doing that little curl there, it's random if you take a lot of damage. We did take quite a bit there, which is why it's good for us to grab the health pack up ahead. Good. So we're going to grab the laser gun as usual. We're actually going to grab the armor first before we overload this next sentry node. And those little things we shoot, they're like little robots that set off the alarm, and they also explode when they get close to you. So you do want to be very careful. Also, shooting the small enemies with the electric tool actually stuns them, which is actually quite nice. So you don't have to worry about actually taking them out for a little bit. So we're going to move back and forth very greatly here. Unfortunately, we got stuck right in the middle of all 4 of their spawns. There we go. One more set of 4. We are out of here. And there we go. There we go. Okay, take out the last trash bot, and let's go. Throw our last grenade in the wall, and we do need another one, unfortunately. Okay, overload this next node again, as usual. Definitely get ready to back up here, because I know our health is pretty low. Alright, so our armor is pretty low, so we're definitely going to make sure we kill all those enemies. Perfect speed. And we're definitely going to make sure we take all these guys out. Because we don't want to take any more damage right now. Marvelous. This should be stopped perfectly. There we go. And this is the shield that's protecting one of the nodes. You just gotta break the things powering it, and then the electricity just breaks it immediately. We're throwing some grenades here on the floor to take out some of the chasing exploding bots quicker. That we don't have to worry about them. Perfect. And one enemy actually didn't spawn, which is quite nice. I'm gonna ignore these 2 because I don't trust them. Alright, 2 of those right there. We're going to overload this node. Now. We are going to have to grab armor here. Improvise. There's armor that we can grab over here that we are absolutely going to go for right now. Because we are pretty low on health. So we're going to grab this. And we're going to overload these in a different order than we normally do. So we're going to overload. This is the 5th node right here. Another one's active. Start overloading. Boom. Okay, so this is the last assault of this room. It is definitely quite lethal. There's a lot of enemies here. And a lot of them have homing launchers, triple shot weapons. There's also a lot of enemies already on screen, which is definitely not as useful. 1, 2. And we're kind of sitting in a very specific spot so that they are less likely to shoot us. There we go. Being careful here to not get shot too much. We're just going to run all the way this way. There's definitely something still alive, unfortunately. There we go. Sneak by. This level might be a rip. I still hear a laser gun. Oh boy, this is not going out so well. Ooh boy. Hi. Take that thing out. And man. It's not going so well. Definitely a bit more behind than I was hoping to be. We're just gonna go again. Now that we checkpointed, things are gonna be the same from here on out. Bit unfortunate being so behind. Hopefully I'm not intruding things too much right now.
Got it, buddy. I believe.
Believe? Yeah, I greatly apologize for this pace. This is pretty awful. 2, 3.
Don't apologize.
Go. I need to grab the armor here. Could tell. So we're gonna overload this while it's moving. There we go. 1, 2. 1. Go. Okay. There's 2 enemies in the next area. Already overloaded that. Because of where we were standing, those rockets just went right into a wall behind us. And now we're doing the last assault room. I'm moving left and right at that specific area. So now we can do this as it's planned to be done. 5 sets of enemies spawn in sets of 3. 3 each, so they're not too much of a threat. There's 2 big boys, which take a lot of damage, and 3 smaller ones that don't take as much. Checking health real quick. And then once we get to the boss room, which we should be very soon. There we go. Alright, so now we're on to the boss room. A lot of those trash bots, they're now going to be stuck here. So this boss, ironically, unlike the rest of the level, is actually very easy. Underneath it, all the walls are considered a boss hitbox. And because this gun's bullets bounce off the walls, we can just shoot under the boss and take it out. And it's dead. It makes this boss fight trivially easy and much safer to do than it normally would be. With this little bit of electric tool ammo we have left, we're going to use it to stun these enemies while they're running backwards to their spawn point. As they won't activate their AI again until after we tag them. Or until after we see them. So that one's stunned, and that one's stunned. And now we're done. Only took us 20 minutes to get through that level. And so now we're on to the last level, Space Station. This level it's not too bad. It's got a 5-minute timer on it basically from the start. But there's only a few main objectives. Now that we've gotten all the crystals and undone what the Timesplitters have done, we are now going to escape the space station that they were using to do all this from. We're going to take the crystals back to our ship. We're going to take out some of their escaping ships and then escape on our own ship. The start of the level, there's a Timesplitter that spawns, the one that shoots the lightning. Fortunately, he only spawns 3 times. So once we kill him 3 times, that specific one won't spawn anymore, which actually makes it very nice. Because you can know like what enemies are after you and where. Right now we're activating that timer, that self-destruct sequence to blow up the spaceship. And now that there's only one more left, he's going to spawn right now. We're just going to take him out really quickly. Boom. And so now we don't have to worry about exploding lightning following us from behind. Here we're going to warm up the plasma auto rifle to shoot a bit faster to stagger the Reaper Splitter, or the Scourge Splitter here. Because they have a lot of health, and they don't stagger on headshots. So you generally want to do like a body-head shot pattern. There is a sentry gun above us that we shot a grenade on, but we also got some boost off of it before we took it out. As you can see, there it is. It is now down. There's another one on the left here. We're basically going to shoot grenades on these, and then get boost from them while they're shooting, and they're going to be destroyed. So you don't got to worry about them anymore. A couple of enemies left. There's not too many enemies in the level, actually, ironically enough, it being the last level. We're going to take a pretty specific line here to avoid taking damage from them. We're also going to throw some grenades on those guys. Those are drone splitters and baby drones. They don't have any weapons, nor can they pick up any, but they do punch you like zombies, and they do deal quite a bit of damage if they do hit you. There's also an armor outside, which is very nice of the game to give us. So we're going to take that. And to destroy these ships, you can do it in one of two ways. You can either use the hit scan capability of the turret, or you can use the projectile portion. We're going to opt to use kind of a mix of both. So like that one right there, we use hit scan. There we go, got them. These do spawn in a set pattern, which is very nice. Let those 3 spawn. And since there's 20, there's going to be 6 sets of 3 and then 2 sets of 1. I don't know why there's not 1 set of 2. So that's the 18th. The second to last one's going to spawn here. And the last portion of the level, but because we missed one, another one spawned. The last portion of the level involves just getting to the elevator that we took to get up here. And it is a very slow elevator. So we want to have about a minute left. I think we'll have a bit more than that, which is nice. Open the door, close it. And now a bunch of enemies are going to spawn, try to stop us. All of these take multiple headshots to take down. As you see, there's one enemy left there from behind. These take about 4 headshots, I think. Yeah. Shoot some grenades as well. Try to take him out if I miss. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I missed that turret, which is unfortunate. There's also one shooter after me. There we go. We're going to take out the camera on that turret. That way we don't have to actually blow it up, which does save us quite a bit of time. We're going to utilize a little trick called just cornering, where your gun is around the corner. You're able to shoot it, but the enemy is not able to shoot you from around that corner. We're also going to use the uplink to watch that turret, so you don't have to worry about it. And now we got a minigun. This thing has an option on it where you can toggle it to be always on, which we just turned on. And now we're on the last stretch. Right now we just got to run in a circle, and we are pretty much done. There's a couple more sentries. We're just going to take them down real quick. No need to worry about them. And there's like 4 Timesplitters shooting exploding lightning at us. But because we're moving so fast at this circle, they teleport to our previous location on the other side, hit the walls over there like that, and then they keep doing that, and they're never able to actually hit us. With our current health count, we're going to opt for a little bit of a safer elevator strategy. Normally, we'd get on top of that light and fall down and take a little bit of health to go a little bit faster, but it only saves about 5 seconds, and you have a potential of dying, which we don't want to risk right now. And this is basically the end of the level. It's kind of your time to mess about, shoot some grenades. We're just going to crouch to get out just that little bit faster. And then at last, we're going to hit that time button. Only took an hour and 6 or 7 minutes. We did the thing. Unfortunately, with the crash, the time played in that attempt is not saved, which is unfortunate. Probably guesstimate it was about 4 minutes we can add to the in-game time. That was Timesplitters 2 Hard Story. Yeah, for beating the game on hard, you get the infinite ammo cheat. Very sought after, I know. Yeah. Is there anything else to add in?
No, just that was a great run, and thank you, emosewamc.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was a blast. I'm happy to speed on the game for you guys and support the AO Gamers.